Today I want to talk to you about whether or not you have what it takes to be an entrepreneur. And if ever there was a week to do this video, for me, this is the week. Hey, my name is Jim Hart. I'm the founding attorney here at Hawthorn Law, where we help online entrepreneurs to get their legal house in order so that you can focus on what you do best, and that is to build a business that truly matters in the world. Today, I want to talk to you about the life of an entrepreneur, and I want to talk to you about whether or not you have what it takes to be an entrepreneur. But before we get into that, I want to talk to you a little bit about my week as an entrepreneur. And then we're going to go into some of the questions that you need to ask yourself to determine whether or not this is really the lifestyle that you want. All right, so first off, I am recording this video. My son is in the bathroom next door taking a shower, and he just yelled at me that he needs some soap, so I'm gonna go do that for him. This week was Labor Day, and for most of you out there who work a 9-to-5 job for another employer as an employee, you probably took the day off. For me, as an entrepreneur, I did not take the day off, so that's the first thing you need to know about being an entrepreneur. There really, when you're just getting started, are no days off. You're gonna work every day that you need to work to get done what you need to do for your business. And if that is not something that works for you, then maybe you need to think twice about becoming an entrepreneur. Now, Tuesday, I woke up and had to have a medical procedure. I'm not going to go into the details of this procedure except to say that it was an unpleasant experience. I did cry a little bit, and when I was done, there were some strong drugs. But I'm feeling much better now. Things are good. I'm healthy. No issues to worry about there. I think I'm healthy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm healthy. But I'm back at it. So I basically took off most of the day on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then today I started to get back to normal. It's Thursday, I'm recording this on Thursday. And then tomorrow's Friday, I should be back full strength tomorrow, hopefully. Now, that's neither here nor there in terms of whether or not you should be an entrepreneur or not, because if you need to have a medical procedure, you're gonna have a medical procedure, except to say that while I was having that procedure and while I was out of the office and while I wasn't able to work, I was still making money from my online business, which is great. So I still was able to clock in at the end of the night, look at the bank account balance, and see that it was going up because the products I sell through my website and other places were still continuing to be sold even though I wasn't working. Because honestly, this YouTube channel does a lot of the work for me. So there's that. And then today, as I started to get back to normal, I spent a good deal of my day working on the business and getting some things done I needed to do, doing some work for some clients, and kind of getting back into the what's it called? Back into the thick of things and getting some stuff done. But anyway, what I really want to do today is I really want to talk to you about whether or not you think entrepreneurship is right for you. And I was prompted to do this video because I saw a video from one of the people that I have actually taken a class with, Tim Schmoyer, who did a video a couple weeks ago about 10 questions you should ask yourself to determine whether or not entrepreneurship is right for you. Link right here to that video. He took the questions from a Harvard Business Review article. I need some water. Personally, I thought a lot of the questions were very academic, and as an entrepreneur and someone who's been an entrepreneur for a long time, I thought that we could tweak some of those questions in a way that might be a little bit more useful to you as an online business owner. And those questions are really directed more towards entrepreneurs in general. I think online business is a little bit different than being an entrepreneur in general. So I'm just gonna kind of go through these and give you a little bit of my commentary in terms of what I think and how I would answer the question if it were me, and then you can get a sense of, think about how you would answer the question, and when we're done, we'll tally them up and see whether or not you and maybe whether I should be an entrepreneur. Question number 1. Again, these are things that I came up with. These are not the same questions that Tim was asking on his video. Can you deal with the fact that you might not have a steady income or any income at all? Ask yourself that. That's an important question to ask, because if you're gonna become an entrepreneur, then chances are you might have to do without an income for a while. Personally, I can handle that. I've been able to do that. For many years, I remember when I first started my law firm here in North Carolina, it was 2010. We had just moved from Florida, where I've been practicing law for a while. It was right around the same time our first child was born. and my wife was retiring from the practice of law at the time. I was the only person in the family earning a wage, and so we had to go. It was lean for a little while. It was tough, and it took some months, but we finally got the business going, and I started to develop some clientele, and things are good from there. But if you are really worried about the prospect of maybe going a month or two without a paycheck and not sure how you're gonna make ends meet, then maybe entrepreneurship is not the best choice for you. That being said, you can always do it as a side hustle and start to build up that business until you get to the point where you can go full time, and that's the way a lot of people do it as well. Do you have the drive to work when nobody is forcing you to? I mean, this is just you either have it or you don't. This is a yes or no question. If you think that you're not going to be able to get the work done if nobody's forcing you to do the work, then you need to go to work for somebody else. Frankly, I definitely know I have the drive to do it. I can't turn it off a lot of times, and I work all hours of the night and get up early in the morning and everything else. I think if anything, I have the problem of working too much, not the fact that I don't work enough. That makes sense. Number 3, are you able to handle the legal aspects of running your own business? Well, I'm a lawyer, so yeah, I can handle the legal aspects of running my own business. But can you handle the legal aspects of running your own business? Fortunately for you, I've got a lot of tools and resources available for online entrepreneurs for free through this channel, and there's a link down below to a toolkit that I will be relaunching again here in a couple of weeks. So if you want to get on the waiting list for that, go to the link down below and you can check that out, and that will help get you legally protected so that you can focus on growing your business. If you don't have the mindset for that, if you don't care about the legal aspects, if you think the legal aspects of running your business are just stupid and not something you want to deal with, maybe you shouldn't be an entrepreneur. Number 4, do you like being told what to do by others? I do not. That's a big no. What about you? If you like being told what to do by others, then chances are you probably should not be an entrepreneur. Do you like the idea of being your own boss? That's pretty simple. You either like working for someone else or you don't. If you want to work for somebody else, go work for somebody else. If you want to be your own boss, then you probably should be an entrepreneur. Do you question authority? I'm going to tell you right now, I was a jerk when I was younger. Following rules was not my forte. I never really enjoyed the idea of following rules. If I thought a rule was stupid, I tried not to follow it or figure out a way to get out of it. So yeah, I've never been good with authority, specifically when it comes to employers trying to tell me what to do. I remember one of the first jobs I had after I finished law school, before I went to work on my own with my own firm. I worked for a firm, and they had me transcribing deposition transcripts. In other words, we get these stacks of deposition transcripts, and deposition is where you interview somebody with a court reporter there, and it's all recorded and put into like a report format. If you remember back in grade school, you had those reports with the plastic covers. Yeah, it's put into one of those, and it's just basically transcribed. And my job as an associate at this firm was to go through these things page by page and basically summarize the entire deposition, which could be a couple hundred pages long, into a series of notes. Page 1, introductions. Page 2, Dr. such and such said such and such. And basically go through it and recap everything that was in the deposition. And then my secretary would type that up, and we'd have a nice summary to be used at trial or wherever else we would need it. And I remember that one of the bosses came in and handed me a stack that big one day and said, get these done before you go to lunch, because we're mediating this case this afternoon. It's probably going to settle. We want to make sure we bill this file today. And I'll be honest, I didn't think that was ethical. I don't think that was right. That wasn't my game. I thought it was stupid. It didn't sit right with me. So I'll be honest, I don't think I actually did it. All right, this is a good one. When you go to a restaurant, hotel, or store, do you look for new or better ways that the vendor could conduct their business? This is something I do. When I go to, when we actually could go out, if I went to a restaurant or a hotel or stayed somewhere or whatever, I would always look and nitpick and look at little things and see, well, how could they make this a better experience for me as a customer? And I'm always looking for that. And I'm always thinking about things from the customer's point of view in my business and in my law firm. I think you have to do that. I think you have to be somewhat of a perfectionist that's always looking to improve things to be a good entrepreneur. 8, do you question the status quo? And I think that kind of goes along with it. If you are constantly questioning the status quo and constantly trying to look for ways to improve and change, looking for better technology, looking for little ways to make your business better, or to make your life better, or to make whatever better, maybe even make your job better if you're still working for somebody else, then I think you probably have what it takes to become an entrepreneur. But you need to be looking for ways to make yourself better. If you don't care, if you're not looking for ways to make yourself better, if you're not looking for ways to make your job better, I see this a lot with, I hate to say it, but the court employees that I work with, it's like they do just the bare minimum to get by, and it can be really frustrating for me because it requires a lot more work on my part to do a good job for my clients when the people that work at the courthouse don't do their job the way they're supposed to. Anyway, if you are not constantly looking to improve the status quo, then you probably shouldn't be an entrepreneur. But if you're looking to make changes and you're looking to change things up all the time because you think it'll be better, then entrepreneurship might be a good path for you. Do you get excited about the idea of selling? This is a great question. I do. I like it. I'm planning a webinar in a couple weeks, again, link down below. I'll be honest, I'll be selling on that webinar. That's something I'm gonna do. All right, so the question was, do I like selling? I'm sorry, I got cut off a little bit last night, and as I was editing this morning, I realized that I got cut off, so forgive me, I don't have my makeup on, but I do love selling. I'm going to be doing a webinar in a couple weeks and promoting the relaunch of my online business legal toolkit. And honestly, whenever you sell, it's quite an adrenaline rush, especially when you see the orders come in and you're providing that value to people and changing their lives for the better, hopefully for the better. So yeah, I love selling. If you do not have that internal desire to sell and create, and you really need to look at this not so much as you're selling something to somebody, but really you are helping somebody make a decision that is going to change their life for the better. If that's the way you look at this and go into every single sales transaction or presentation you're going to make, then you're just bound for success, and you definitely have the entrepreneurship qualities in you. The last question I've got for you here is, do you have family members or friends who are entrepreneurs? If everybody that you're surrounded by, friends, family members, all those people are entrepreneurial, it's actually going to be harder for you to be an employee because you're going to have a bunch of people telling you that you should be an entrepreneur. Conversely, if you are surrounded by people who work for companies who have steady jobs and steady paychecks, if maybe this is the way your parents brought you up to get a job and work for 40 years for somebody and then retire, and that's because that's what they did, then chances are they're going to try and poo-poo your idea. Now, I'll be honest, God bless my mother who passed away several years ago, but she was not an entrepreneur. She worked in a school district as a teacher for years and years and years, basically almost until the day she died. I tried a number of entrepreneurial ventures when I was younger in college and things of that sort, and she smacked down every single one of them and told me I needed to focus more on my schoolwork and getting good grades, and then getting a job after college and things like that. And so, I mean, if you are surrounded by people who are employees and have that type of mindset, then chances are it's going to be really hard for you to strike out and do something entrepreneurial. You may need to even hide it from them, I hate to say it. And the reason for that being that people who, if they see you doing something different than what they're used to, they're going to try and stop you. They're going to try and keep you from pursuing your dreams. And so that's something you need to be very careful and very aware of. That's really important. So yeah, those are the 10 questions that I think I would ask myself. I would encourage you to ask yourself if this is something, if entrepreneurship is something that you think that you're cut out for. And as I go through these, I can't see a single one that I would answer in a way that would lead me to believe that I should be an employee. I think I would say I'm unemployable at this point. And if you feel like that's the case, if you feel like you're unemployable, then I would encourage you to get out there and start something. And to be honest, it doesn't have to be anything big. It doesn't have to be, sorry, I've got a cat over here jumping all over everything. It doesn't have to, you don't have to, take over the world with your first venture. It could be something small. You could start a YouTube channel like this and talk about stuff that you like, that you think other people might find valuable. You could start a blog. You could start a podcast talking about, again, topics that you find interesting. Football is starting this weekend. I'm a huge Cleveland Browns fan. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to see the Buckeyes play this season, but I'm a big Cleveland Browns fan. If I was so inclined, I know other people have done it, I could start a podcast talking about them, talking about the players. And that's something that can be the basis of a business. So there's all sorts of things that you can do. The sky is the limit in terms of the ideas that are out there, but I just encourage you to get out there and start it. If this is something, if you think that you would like to start something entrepreneurial, get out there, start it, do it today. All right, if you like what I'm talking about, here's another video right here that talks more about entrepreneurship. I encourage you to take a gander at that, if you will, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care, folks. Have a great day, have a great weekend, and go Browns.